Well, third time is the charm, I suppose. Let me tell you a story, but in a second. I'm known as Esper on this channel. There's a couple things you should probably know about me before we get heading into this Let's Play. For one thing, I'm trans. I don't hide it. It's something I'm very open about. I'm open about most things about me. You are going to figure that out. My name is actually Jen, but for the purposes of this, I mean, call me whatever the hell you want. I'm not going to be that offended. You can do whatever you want. But back to the story I was trying to tell you about. I have had some trouble trying to film this. Some really, really annoying trouble. Let me bloody tell you. So, this is not the first series that I've tried to record for this channel. There have been two others. The first one was a Platinum Randomizer Nuzlocke, and to be honest, the reason I got rid of that is because I wasn't happy with the quality of the recording. I wasn't happy with the pretty abysmal layout I had designed for the video, and I just wasn't feeling it, so I got rid of it. I'm feeling a bit better about what I have set up for this, but it's still not where I eventually want to be, but we don't have to shoot for the moon the first time around. The second one was a Fire Red Leaf Green Randomizer Nuzlocke, which was going very well. I had a Groudon with Serene Grace, I had a Suicune. Wait, was it a Suicune? I had another legendary of some sort, right? Why do I feel like it was Suicune? It might well have been. Anyway, I had a couple of legendaries, everything was going great. And then when it came time for me to edit episode 6, it turns out that the recordings for episodes 6, 7, 8 and 9 were all corrupted. And I couldn't do anything with them. And being the genius that I am, because I am a genius, I hadn't made any backups of any of these 4 recordings. So when they corrupted, I was left with an option of do them again or drop the series. Now, personally, because of how good it was going, I would not have minded doing it again. The problem is that, being an idiot once again, I hadn't actually gone and, before I went in to edit these videos, I had already made save states, overwriting where I was at the start of those videos. Because I'm really clever. So I literally couldn't go back and do them again because I'd already saved beyond it. It was irritating. I got really annoyed by that. But it's okay. We have an opportunity to do something a little bit better now. A HeartGold Soulsilver Nuzlocke is my favourite game to do Nuzlockes of. I know a lot of people love HeartGold Soulsilver, and I agree. It's a great fun time. And you get to have your random legendary walk behind you, because God knows we're going to get one for a starter. A lot of the time when I do random Nuzlockes privately, so I don't waste my time, I'll often make, 4 or 5 runs, and just pick whichever one has a decent starter, so that I don't have to start with a Relicanth or something. But in the interest of making it completely organic this time, I have no idea what's in here. I have absolutely no idea what's in these startables. So you're going to see this at the same time as I do. And I'm a little stressed because I bet it's going to be garbage and I don't want to re-record this. It's garbage. It's better. Magnemite, hang on. If I take Glaceon, he'll get Smeagol. Smeagol. I know what I meant. It's not. Smeagol's the Lord of the Rings character before he becomes Golem. Don't ask me why I know that. I watched the Lord of the Rings recently. It was a good, I had a good time again. Anyway, I'm going to take Glaceon. One of these days I might actually show you, but there is a Glaceon plush on my desk because it is my favourite mon. It's up there with them anyway. I know I called the channel Esper, and the channel mascot is an Espeon, but ultimately that's, it's not because Espeon is my... Wait, hang on. Oh, my control scheme is really weird now. What did I do here? Oh well, doesn't really matter too much, I figured it out. I'll fix that in the next episode. Anyway, it's not because Espeon is my favourite mon, it's just because that's what came to mind at the time. I do like Espeon, but if I had to say what my favourite mons are, it's probably Umbreon, Glaceon and Absol. I absolutely love our Ice and Dark types, they're really good. Right, Static. That's going to be helpful actually. Attack down, speed up. That's absolutely fine. Glaceon is a special attacker anyway. But if I remember right, we don't get many special moves by level up. I'm just going to open my phone and have a quick look while we move along. I don't obviously want to open it up on my PC, I don't want to get it in the way of the recording, but that's what phones were invented for. So let's do a quick check for Glaceon's moveset. I will be clicking through the game while I'm doing this, just I'm not really reading the dialogue right now. I mean, I've played this game so many times, it's all good. I know the dialogue already. Right, let's see what we're looking at here. So here we are. Icy Wind at 15, that is a special move, so that'll do the job. Oh yeah, we do have to go back to our mum this time. Okie dokie. Icy Wind at 15, Ice Shard at 36, that's physical, and Ice Fang at 43 is also physical. Oh, sugar, the sprites have messed up, but I can fix that in a minute. Yeah, it's a cute Pokemon I have, isn't it? It looks like a black and red square. Well, a black square with a bit cut out to put a red square in the corner, really. Yeah, Glaceon gets Icy Wind at 15, but beyond that, the moveset is not very good. We're going to have to hope that we run into some pretty good TMs. And oh my god, you know what I hate? Here's the obligatory point where I point out that I get irritated by you saying yes to knowing how to make a phone call and then being told anyway. I know everyone points that out, but it's annoying. And yeah, it seems like Nintendo did finally realise when it came around to Sword and Shield, if you've already caught a Pokemon by the time you get to Leon's catching tutorial, he'll just say, oh, congrats, you've already caught something. And he won't make you go through the bullshit tutorial. It's the biggest pain in the arse. But I only recently played Sword and Shield. I've only had it for like a week or so. I really, really came late to that trend. But I didn't like the DLC practices. I don't like the idea of having DLC in Pokemon, but I eventually bit the bullet and bought it, and I had a good time with it. Oh, if only you were a Galarian Rapidash. Galarian Rapidash is so cool. We might have a bit of trouble, you know, going through some early game stuff, because we're not going to have a move that uses Glaceon's very good special attack for quite a while. And as it stands right now, with an attack lowering nature, Tackle is going to be really, really bad. I'd rather not have an Ariados, to be honest. Ariados is just not very good at all. I mean, I could work with it. I have done random Nuzlockes where my centerpiece on my team is a much worse mon than Ariados. I once had a situation where I couldn't evolve my Boltoy because Claydol in that particular randomizer Nuzlocke had Truant, but Boltoy had huge power, which is, you know, huge power is obviously brilliant. Not so much on a Boltoy because special attacker, and I'm pretty sure huge power only does physical attack, but it was reasonably nice, you know, I could actually use some physical moves on Boltoy. And this was back in Generation 3, I was playing Emerald, wasn't I? Yeah. Before the physical special split. So obviously, you know, there's a lot of physical moves that I really did want on Boltoy. And I ended up using that Boltoy as the cornerstone of my random Nuzlocke team for that entire game. You know, I ended up having lots and lots of deaths that series, that lock. I didn't actually record it, so it wasn't a series, but that lock I ended up with a lot of deaths, and I was not having a great time. It's not something I'm particularly proud of. Even when I got to my my randomized legendary, which randomized into Suicune, my favourite legendary, it also had Truant. I'm not even kidding, it had Truant. So I caught it, and I mainly used it as death fodder. In fact, I think I did end up using it as death fodder in the final fight against Wallace. I mean, what else was I going to do with it? Oh dear. It was not a good time. But hey, Boltoy carried us through. Granted, I had to make it like level 70 something before I could do that, but that's not the point. No, I don't want to pick up that yet in case it's a Pokeball. I do not want to start my lock with like a single Pokeball. No, 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 no. You know, this is one of the games I've had some really good shiny luck in before, so I'm really hoping we can pick up at least one shiny Mon outside of the Lake of Rage. because usually I don't find a lot of shinies, right? I can count on 2 hands the amount of shinies I've found in Pokemon games that aren't the guaranteed shiny Gyarados at Lake of Rage. When I was a kid, I found a shiny Golbat in Sapphire. Oh, hey, Shiftry. Yeah, that could be worse. Anyway, as I was saying, when I was a kid, I found a shiny Golbat in Sapphire. I didn't bother to keep it or to catch it because I thought at the time that Golbat was a trade evolution, and I really didn't have easy access to the internet to find out that it wasn't. This was a really, really long time ago. Must have been about 14, 15 years ago. You know, back in about 2006, 2007, I didn't have easy access to the internet at the time, so I couldn't be sure, so I didn't bother to catch it, but I do remember finding it. Then I've got my shiny Obstagoon in Sword and Shield. That was pretty cool. I didn't even have the shiny charm yet, so I was quite thrilled with that. I found a shiny Lapras once in... What's the cave in between... this... What's the first city called with the Bellsprout Tower? Something with a V, but I've forgotten it now. Anyway, in between that city and Azalea, there's the cave. I think it's called Union Cave, but I could be wrong. It's been a while since I actually played these games, to be honest. But I found a shiny Lapras in there once, which was pretty cool. The other shinies that come to mind, let me think. I found, in one lock that I did in HeartGold Soulsilver, I found a shiny Mr. Mime just south of Goldenrod, which was really nice. And then a little bit after that, while I was surfing on my way back to Mahogany Town, I found a shiny Giratina, which I also caught. So yeah, I'm not complaining. You know, I have had some crazy shiny luck in this game before. And you know what, Glaceon is a rare Pokemon, Professor Oak. You're not wrong. You can't get Glaceon in HeartGold Soulsilver. It really sucks. You basically have to trade it away from one of the Sinnoh games. You know, I really did like how in Sword and Shield they changed the way that Leafeon and Glaceon evolve. So now you can you have things called the Ice Stone and the Leaf Stone. No, not the Leaf Stone. The Leaf Stone's been around for ages. I can't remember if Leafeon evolves with the Leaf Stone now, or if they gave it a special stone. But basically, there's 2 stones that you can get, and they'll evolve an Eevee into Glaceon or Leafeon. Yeah, it makes life a lot simpler. Sylveon too, actually. I finally got to use a Sylveon. Because when I was playing through X and Y, I really, really like X and Y. But I honestly could never be bothered to figure out how to evolve Eevee into Sylveon. Just because when I was looking at it, I think you have to do something with like the Pokemon ME thing. And I really couldn't be bothered with that. So I never got a Sylveon. But now in Sword and Shield, it's just a happiness evolution while your Mon knows a fairy move. Which makes life so much easier. Actually, funnily enough, while I'm thinking about Sword and Shield, I completed the Galar Dex the other day, which is probably not a big deal to most people who've probably had the game for a really long time now. But I completed the Galar Dex after about a week of having the game, and I'm quite happy with that. Granted, I have played about 120 hours, something like that, of Shield at this point. So there is that to consider. But you know what? I completed the Dex, so I'm happy. Let's see what you've got, Mr. Joe. Oh, well, obviously you've got Smeargle, haven't you? Yeah, I must say we definitely came up with the best starter out of those 3. I mean, Magnemite could be good. Magnezone is certainly powerful. But, to be honest, if I could choose, I would much rather have a Glaceon. And I could choose, so here we are. You know, ooh, critical hit. Okay, we'll take those. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do for the next game after this, you know. Granted, it's a really early time for me to start thinking about other projects right now. I mean, this is the first episode of HeartGold Soulsilver. So, thinking about other projects at the moment is a little bit crazy. But I am considering it. You know, I am thinking about where I might like to go after this. And I'm sort of torn between potentially doing one of the what's it called, Gen 7 games. Definitely not Sun, Moon, or Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. I actually have a copy of Sun in my drawer. It's just like behind me, and I've never finished it because I found it incredibly boring. Wait, what's wrong with your face, Glaceon? What the hell? Are those your teeth? What is going on? Anyway, no, I never finished Sun. I found it boring. And, you know, I have heard that Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon fix a lot of the issues, but for me personally, actually we'll grab that item in a minute. For me personally, the Alola region was just so boring that I don't think it could be saved. So I've never ever finished them. But, you know, I would consider doing Alpha Sapphire or maybe Y. I haven't really decided yet. But it might happen. I've certainly got plenty of time to think about it. I should probably, to be honest, right now, if I really wanted to get into, you know, the optimization of search and whatnot, I should be doing Diamond and Pearl, because obviously the Diamond and Pearl remakes have just been announced. But oh, I see. So my start and select buttons are the wrong way around. Well, that's irritating, but I'll figure that out in the next episode. But as I was saying, I really, really do not like the art style for the Diamond and Pearl remakes. I know a lot of people are probably thinking of this, but come on, they look like mildly worse 3DS games. Honestly, like, the character models for X and Y look better than this. What the hell are they doing? I mean, part of me really wants to play it, because some of the overworld looks reasonable. Like, it doesn't look bad. But, you know, it's not what anyone wanted. I think, you know, saying that people wanted chibi-looking Diamond and Pearl stuff, that is not what anybody wanted. Nobody in the Pokemon community wanted chibi Diamond and Pearl. Everybody wanted Diamond and Pearl with the Sword and Shield engine and the Sword and Shield graphics. That's what people wanted. Of course, it's not what we've got. I mean, Legends Arceus is another thing that's about, but I honestly don't know much about that. I haven't seen much of it, so I'm not really going to pass my judgment on that too hard, but it doesn't really look like something I'm going to be super into, let's put it that way. Here's a Flareon. Oh yeah, great weakening down of the Venomoth there with Tail Whip, mate. You really did a lot of damage. But yeah, I'm not super excited for chibi-looking Diamond and Pearl. I'm really not. Which is why I'm not doing a Diamond and Pearl Nuzlocke right now. I could. You know, it's not hard to do. But if I did them right now, I'd be like, oh great, I'm going back to Diamond and Pearl. And I would spend the entire series ragging on the stupid, shitty-looking art for chibi Diamond Pearl on the Switch. No, I'm not going to do that. Instead, I get to play one of, if not, in my opinion, still the best remake that Pokemon has ever made in HeartGold Soulsilver. So I'm absolutely fine with doing that, and this is really the most I'm probably going to talk about Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl for probably the entire series, to be honest. Jesus, that was quick. Of course, I couldn't get the Rapidash. I have to get the Pichu. The useless garbage mon. Of course I did. Fine. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to talk about it too much. I might talk about it every now and then if while I'm recording new information comes out, or they completely overhaul the hilariously ugly what the fuck are they doing graphics. Because I don't think anyone is happy with the graphics in those games. I mean, people complained about Sword and Shield graphics when it came out, though, so what the hell do I know? Oh, I can weaken this. Oh, good. I kind of assumed I would one-shot it, to be honest. But yeah, it is... I wonder if maybe that's why they've gone the way that they've gone with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl's graphics, because people complained to no end about the Sword and Shield graphics when it first came out. I do remember hearing about... Of course I crit it. Of course I did. Of course I did. It used Charm twice, I was guaranteed to weaken it and be able to catch it, but of course I critted it. The fuck is your problem with Pichu, Glaceon? I'm not happy with that. And now watch this, this will be the Rapidash. Okay, it's a Glalie, but I would have still preferred a Glalie to a Pichu. Yeah, I wonder if that is the reason they went this way with the graphics though, because people bitched a lot about Sword and Shield, and I mean, I wasn't really in the loop so much for it, but I think from what I remember, the complaints about Sword and Shield's graphics came from the beta version of the game, which wasn't actually finished, and a lot of the textures weren't finished. But that is still a complaint that I've seen to this day. I mean, even when I was looking at the reaction video for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which, to be honest, looked neither brilliant nor shining, when I was looking at the comments in it, I still saw people talking about trees that looked like cardboard in Sword and Shield. And I'm just sitting there thinking, they don't. I've played Sword and Shield, I've seen the trees, they look fine. There's nothing wrong with them. But people still bring it up to this day, and I tell you what, the people who bitch about the graphics in Sword and Shield, well, they're going to be real happy with their chibi garbage now, aren't they? I bet they're going to be thrilled. It just irritates me to no end. It really, really grinds my gears, but what can you do, eh? It is what it is. I feel like this is just Nintendo dicking it to all their fans who've been bitching at them for years to make Diamond and Pearl remakes. I mean, ever since Oras came out, it has been a never-ending case of, make Diamond and Pearl remakes, when are you making Diamond and Pearl remakes? We don't want Sword and Shield, we want Diamond and Pearl remakes. And Nintendo are probably just pissed off at this point. They're probably thinking to themselves, you know what, shall we just make something absolutely hideous and terrible so they'll all shut the fuck up? Soda Pop and Twisted Spoon. Yeah, I should mention, actually we're going to grab some of these, they're going to be really nice. But yeah, I should mention that I've randomized the special marts, so they're going to give me completely random items like Soda Pops and Twisted Spoons. But yeah, they're going to be a lot more useful than potions. They basically heal 3 times as much, and they cost the same price, so I'm going to have to note down somewhere that this is where you can get those. Spend the rest of our money on Pokeballs and a Premier Ball. But yeah, I'm going to have to note down that this is where you get Soda Pops, because I'm going to have to come here probably in between most episodes until about the 4th gym, just to pick up more Soda Pops to keep us going, because they are so much better than buying Super Potions. Anyway, can we get a Mon that I'm not going to crit this time? I haven't looked in this route yet, so we're going to see what we can find. Hopefully we won't be disappointed, but knowing my luck, we probably will be. That took a few seconds. Actually, I'm not disappointed with that at all. I'm actually not. Flaffy, and well, not Flaffy, Ampharos, I should say. Ampharos is really, really good. Okay, I'm a little bit disappointed that you keep on missing and critting Snowy. I mean, right, you just got crit, but that doesn't mean that you have to crit them a reap in response. You don't have to do that. Maybe we'll get lucky and paralyze it with static. That could help. Of course, this is before the change. I think they made the change in... Maybe it was made in Sword and Shield, or maybe it was like the last couple of games of Gen 7. But eventually they did make the change where now you can't paralyze electric types, which I did always think was weird, because you can't poison types, and you can't burn fire types, and I'm pretty sure you can't freeze ice types, but you could always paralyze electric types. It never made any sense to me. Ah, well, we'll figure it out. Right, I have to remember my select and my start are the wrong way around. I am going to have to fix that in the next episode. I really don't know why I put them that way around this time. I don't know, I must have messed while I was handling my control bindings. Messed up the positions of where I wanted them anyway. Lightning Rod. I mean, that's okay. I don't think that Lightning Rod in this game causes the move to do no damage. I'm pretty sure it will still do damage, but I'll resist it because I'm an electric type anyway, so that actually works out perfectly fine. Another Pichu, taunting me with what I can't have. How lovely. Although realistically speaking, I now have a better electric type, so if I did have a Pichu, I would just not be using it at this point anyway. I mean, it's not like I can Gigantamax it. It's not a Gigantamax Pikachu. So I just had to have a quick drink there. My throat gets dry very, very easily when I'm talking like this. I know it's probably a common issue, but for me it happens extremely quickly, and when my throat gets dry, it is just ungodly sore. So I've got to have, when I sit down for a recording, I basically have to have myself two drinks. It doesn't really matter what they are. Right now it is, hang on, Pepsi Max, maximum taste, no sugar, which is what I'm drinking at the moment, but I have to have something to drink, otherwise it's just going to kill my throat, and by the end of the recording, I'm going to sound like, my voice is being run through gravel or something. It's going to be ridiculous. Well, we didn't encounter anything in that grass. Can I make it through this entire route without... I can. Huh. You know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. We're not going to encounter something in this route just yet, unless we get an encounter in the grass just up ahead, which I'm hoping we don't, because there are a couple of items in, well, actually there's 3 items coming up before we get to Violet City. I remember the name of it, Violet City. I knew it began with a V, I just wasn't sure what followed it. Anyway, as I was saying, there's a few items we can pick up before we get to Violet City. And I want to see if any of those are... Oh god, don't crit me with water gun, come on. I want to see if any of those are items that are going to make this capture easier. Maybe one of them is a Master Ball, we don't know. Oh, that's really irritating actually. Now that I think about it, there's an episode in Fire Red Leaf Green in the series I was doing before it got corrupted. There's an episode where I'm aboard the SS Anne, and I find a Master Ball and a Lucky Egg in the same episode, which I'm really annoyed that I can't upload that now. I think it's the episode just before things started to get corrupted. So if I really wanted to, I could clip the moments where I find the Master Ball and the Lucky Egg and then upload the clip. But I'm not going to upload the full episode because it would just be really, really out of place. Plus, to be honest, the layout I made for Fire Red was incredibly improvised. Like, it was not good at all. Granted, this may not look good to you, and I agree, it's not exactly the best thing ever. I literally just took a piece of HeartGold Soulsilver art and slapped some crap on top of it. Who knows, it might even be copyrighted Nintendo and I might get an annoying takedown notice. We never know, anything can happen. Oh dear. Sometimes, what's it called, you might be forgiven for thinking that a big company like Nintendo doesn't have time to go after a completely irrelevant thing that doesn't eat into their profits in the slightest, but oh, let me tell you, they do. Way back in the day, right, years and years and years ago, this could have been about, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago maybe, when I was just, barely even a teenager. I was about 13, 14 or so. I put up a download link for a ROM file of Ash Grey, because getting the ROM files for Ash Grey at the time, I'm not sure if it's easier now, it was a real pain in the arse back then. You had to do patchings and things like that, and it just annoyed me. So I pre-patched it, and I put a ROM file upload on. And that link to, not the video itself, the video got about 5,000 views, it was crazy. It got a lot more views than any of the Let's Play content I did, which is a shame, because the Let's Play content is what I enjoy doing. But anyway, the video got about 5,000 views, and the thing got about 10,000 downloads. So I know that someone must have re-uploaded a new video with the link, but whatever, I don't give a damn. The point is, eventually I had to take the link down, and the reason, it wasn't because, it wasn't because I was deleting the channel. I mean, eventually I did. But the reason I took the link down is because Nintendo threatened me with a copyright notice. So that was fun. And that was a video that got about 5,000 views on a ROM file that got about 10,000, 10,000 downloads for a game that Nintendo didn't make because it's a ROM hack, and they threatened it with a copyright takedown. And, I was 13 or 14 at the time, so it's like, well, I'm not going to fight Nintendo when I'm barely a teenager. It's not going to happen. So I just took the file down. But if there's one thing I learned from that, it's that Nintendo especially, not so much other companies tend to have better things to do, but Nintendo especially are viciously protective of their IP. It is absurd the lengths they will go to to strike down anything that could remotely be... Wow, okay, that was a crit, but alright then. Can you maybe stop that? Because I really want to get this XP. But anyway, as I say, Nintendo were... Well, they were vicious with this anyway. I don't think they're so bad now. As I understand it, like, Nintendo had their... Oh, it has a rough skin? Oh, dude, not Pog. Okay. Well, I can switch out at least, I suppose. No, I can't. I'm stuck in Wrap. I forgot about that. God damn it. Well, we'll use a potion then. But yeah, as I was saying, Nintendo, as far as I understand it, have stopped some of their more insidious schemes to try and make money off of YouTubers. As I recall originally, what it was Nintendo would just claim anything that you made anyway, regardless of fair use or anything like that, because Nintendo is Nintendo, and Nintendo doesn't give a shit. But after that, they tried doing their quote-unquote Nintendo Creators Program. I think that's what it was called anyway, where you could make money off of your videos of Nintendo content, but only for specific games that they put onto the list, most of which didn't include the games that people actually wanted to play, and you had to split that revenue with Nintendo. Now, I'm not sure if that's still about these days. I don't think it is, because it was a PR disaster when that came about. So I'm 99% certain it's not about anymore. But Nintendo do have a history of trying to make money off of YouTube videos where they don't deserve any because they didn't do any of the work and they can fuck off. But that's Nintendo for you. They've always been money hungry. They do not like losing out on any pennies at all. But that's Nintendo for you, you know? What can you do? Right, please don't get me an encounter in these 3 bits of grass. Thank you. Now we can get these items before we have to get our encounter on this route. And I want to heal up real quick again. Oh, no, wait, no, I don't need to. I forgot it's Snowy that took the damage. Well, that's okay. We're going to make this probably an hour of power for the first episode of the series. I mean, I'm enjoying it well enough. I'm having a good enough time. I am slightly questioning the universe in which bug catchers are considered to be gods. I would question that. If only because they're the most annoying people in the entire world. In another part of the Fire Red series that you probably haven't seen, a couple videos did get uploaded before I privated them, but I don't think they got any particular amount of views, so I don't imagine anyone has actually seen them. But in the first episode of that series... Oh, Golem, are you kidding me? I don't know a way out of this. I don't know a way out of this. Glaceon has much higher defense. But hang on, I've got to really consider this. I have to Google Golem's moveset real quick. But while I'm talking about that, yeah, in the first episode of the Fire Red Leaf Green series that I did, my team at the time, which I think consisted of a... Come on, I know it. I had a ghost type of some sort. I had a Ghastly. There you go. I had a Ghastly, I had a Flaffy, and a couple of Death Foddermons. And my entire team, except for Flaffy, got wiped out by a Celebi. Because I didn't have any moves that were super effective on it. It had Recover, and it could just continuously use Recover in Confusion. And that trainer was a bug catcher. So if bug catchers are gods, I don't want to live in this earth. Right, Gen 4 decks, here we go. Hurry up and load. Oh, my internet is terrible. Okay, this isn't so bad. It doesn't get, You know what, I think we can survive this. I was worried it would have a self-destruct at, at a base level, but at level 3, its only attacking move is Tackle. So this is going to take a little while, but it's not actually going to kill us. So hooray for silver linings, I suppose. In fact, I'm gonna try and lower the volume of this bit in at least the game audio in editing, because it's using defense curl. So I am going to speed this bit up, and speeding up really makes the game audio just a bit weird. So in an effort to save you the trouble of having to listen to the game audio all funky, I'm going to try and lower the audio for that little bit of the recording. Granted, I'm terrible with editing, But I think even I can figure out how to do that. Down you go, Bug Catcher. Man, if he had self-destruct, I would have been screwed. I mean, he only could have killed one of my team, that's true, but to be honest, I want them both. I don't want either one of them to die. I only have 2 mons. Right, now let's see if we can get through this grass without an encounter. And we can. Right, so I have a couple of items to pick up out here, and then whatever is in the dark cave, and then I can do the encounter in this route and the route below it. We are going to be very busy. A lumberry. I mean, that could be useful at some point, but realistically, I'm not... well, I got the encounter here in the end anyway because I didn't fight the trainer. And it's a Zangoose. Not exactly something that I would generally consider using. It's not bad, as I understand it. It's got pretty decent attack stats. And, you know, most of its moves are normal type, so stab is a wonderful thing. But, honestly, Zangoose, really? Do I honestly want a Zangoose? Not really. I mean, I'll try and catch it, obviously, but... oh, dear. I'll try and catch it, but I'm not super excited for a Zangoose, let's put it that way. I'm going to have to eat something after I record this. I haven't actually had breakfast today. It's currently about 20 past 10. I'm off work today, so I got up late and went essentially straight into recording this. Oh, you absolute cocktease, Zangoose. Fuck you. But yeah, I got up and basically went immediately into recording this. Which is fine, I suppose, but it does mean that, A, for one thing, my throat is incredibly dry. I have a drink here. It's only partially helping. You dick. Yeah, it's only partially helping to solve the dry throat problem. But, outside of that, I've also got, well, I'm hungry, let's put it that way. You know, I want to eat some breakfast, and I haven't had anything yet. 1, 2... I hate you, Zangoose, please die! I'm not having fun with this Zangoose at all. I can't decide if I want to throw another ball at it, to be honest. It's only a Zangoose. It's not the best mon in the world. I don't particularly want it. I tell you what, we'll throw the Premier Ball. It matches your colours. If the Premier Ball catches it, we'll get it. If not, I'm just going to run. And of course not! I don't think I would have been able to weaken it at all without killing it, so... oh shit, I went for Tail Whip. I am actually going to... well, now I know I'm going to kill it with the next tackle, but... I was going to see if, I would actually be able to weaken it down a little bit more without killing it, but obviously I'm an idiot and I used Tail Whip. But at least it's a little bit of experience and a level up for Snowy. I'll take it. And a waste of a lot of my Pokeballs and a Premier Ball. Thanks for that, Zangoose, you dick. Right, I still have 2 encounters to do to the south of this. How much money do I have? Not enough to buy even 1 more Pokeball, are you kidding me? Right, well, let's heal up Snowy and use him for this one. Snowy is going to be a lot better at tanking hits than Fluffy is, so it just makes more sense to my mind. And I'm hoping to pick up whatever item this is before I get the encounter, just in case it's a Master Ball and I encounter Kyogre. Also, sorry that the flash is a bit screwed on my screen right now. This happens on my emulator every time. I have no idea why. It's just really, really screwed. And of course I'm like 2 steps away from getting it. Oh, I want it. I really, really want this. Oh shit, but I won't be able to weaken it. Ah, crap. I'm just going to have to throw Pokeballs. I will never complain about the randomizer again if I can catch this. Of course not. I wonder if it uses enough growls. Combined with my attack-lowering nature, if it uses enough growls, I might be able to catch it. So I'm going to try and burn some turns using Helping Hand. It might even use Scratch and get the static off, and that might paralyze it. We've got to be very tactical here, because I want a Charmander. You have no idea how badly I want a Charmander. Right, that's 3 attack lowerings. I gotta keep this in my head. That's 4. Christ, is the only thing this thing has Growl? Jesus. No, it's using Scratch. Wonderful. Immediate paralyze. Let's go. Right, I'm still not going to try and weaken it down until it uses a couple more couple more growls. I don't want to attack it in case I still somehow kill it. Oh god, I'm not confident we can get this. Starter mons always have a really difficult catch rate because, you know, you're not supposed to be able to catch these things in the wild. Let's go. Yes, look at that. Look at that. We just got a Charmander. And I didn't even have to kill it. And I only had to use a few Pokeballs. You know what? Life is good today. Life is good today. And we are going to call this Charmander Flare. Because I'm not creative, and that's what I call all of my fire types. No, I'm not kidding. It's basically all of them. And a Firestone. How thematically appropriate. I'm probably going to sell that for some Pokeball money, though. Because as it stands right now, the way that... I should have mentioned this before, actually. I've randomized marts, and the way that I've done it means that I'm guaranteed to get all of the evolution stones at some point in the game, if I want them. What did I encounter on this route? Oh yeah, Zangoose, of course. I remember now. But yeah, I've randomized it in such a way that I'm always going to get all of the evolution stones at least once at some point in the game. Now, granted, that could be it could be sometime in Johto, it could be in Kanto, we don't know. But I will get them at some point. And right now, I think more important than a Firestone, especially because I already have a really nice Fire type, more important than a Firestone is the extra Pokeball money. Which is why I'm going to Violet City right now without going down to get those two encounters just yet, because I want to sell my Firestone. And then we have a lot of encounters to do. Oh, I should check what the special mart is first as well. Oh, what do you know? How thematically appropriate. It's a Firestone. As well as a Pearl and a Skull Fossil. Now, I should talk about the Skull Fossil for a second, because in this game, obviously, you can't revive fossils until the Kanto region, until you get to Pewter City. So what I'm going to be doing for fossils in this game is if I find them or if I buy them, each fossil is an encounter that I can get. It's an encounter token. Now, the way I have to use an encounter token, I can't find a Pokemon, see that it's good, and then say, okay, this is my token. I have to say out loud on the commentary, I am using my token now, and then whatever my next encounter is, that is the encounter that I got with the token. Because we want it to still be random. We don't want me to basically cheat to get myself something good. Now, I know there's a hidden item here, Max Revive. We can sell that for some extra Pokeball money. And you know what? We can probably use it to buy the fossil as well, so we can get an encounter token. That would leave us with how many encounters left to do? Let me think. We would have the route below Violet City, those two routes there. Oh no, wait, we already got our encounter on one of those, so we'd have 1, 2, plus the Bellsword Tower. 3 more encounters, I think. Because our Zangoose is the route just outside of Dark Cave, so we have got that encounter already. Yeah, I can afford a Skull Fossil now. Fantastic. Now, I will also say that when it comes to items that can be particularly useful, outside of stones, I can buy as many stones as I want. But when it comes to things like fossils, which I will use for encounter tokens, or Master Balls, or Lucky Eggs, because they can all be in the randomized marts, which are only the special marts, by the way, randomized. But as I was saying, they can all be in the special randomized marts. So when it comes to those, I can only get one. I can only take one. So if it's a Master Ball, I can get one. If it's a Lucky Egg, I can get one. If it's a fossil, I can have one of it. Granted, if that same fossil comes up again, so if I find another Skull Fossil in another mart, I can buy it again and get another encounter token. That's absolutely fine. But I can't buy like half a dozen of them from this particular mart, because that wouldn't be fine. Now, I haven't got an encounter on this route yet, so let's see what we get. Okay, garbage. Good to know. Very good to know. But while I'm here, let's think about what that... As a power weight, I think I can sell that. Okay, Aftermath is not going to be particularly useful right now. But it could be useful. Well, it won't be useful because if Aftermath activates, that means my Charmander is already dead, and I don't want my Charmander to die. It's definitely the best mon that I've caught so far. I mean, obviously I'm incredibly biased in favour of Glaceon. I love Glaceon, but my Charmander is a much better mon in terms of what I. Hang on, will you give me a second because apparently I'm being interrupted. I swear to God, if it wasn't for the pandemic that shall not be named, I wouldn't have to deal with these interruptions. Oh well, I hope you didn't hear too much of that. It's just the old man. To be fair, I don't mind helping him out. You know, he's helped me out before. I don't mind helping him out, you know. It's a good thing to help out your parents where you can. Just to let them know that you appreciate the things that they do for you. Even if one of them is completely insufferable, but oh, we don't need to go into a rant on that here. That is the wrong place to put that rant. Anyway, we called him Minun, so let's call it something terrible. You know what? I know exactly what to call this thing. I know precisely what a Minun deserves to be called, because it is terrible, and everyone should know it's terrible. F-. We now have F-, the Minun. It does have White Smoke, and Thunderwave. See, Thunderwave could be useful, but it's a Minun, so it still sucks. Now, am I going to do some off-screen grinding, is a question that I'm thinking about at the moment, actually. Maybe. Maybe. The issue I have with off-screen grinding is that if one of my mons were to die in grinding, you know, you would have no way of knowing it died unless I told you. I'm not going to lie to you, but the point is, you know, you might worry if I would. But I'm probably going to have to do a bit because I'm going to need to train up Charmander. I don't want to switch train him against trainer battles in case I run into something particularly high-leveled with Arena Trap. But if I do some switch training in the first route, then most things are going to be the same level. Sorry, not some switch training. If I do some training in the first route, most things are going to be the same level as Charmander. So it's not actually going to be a problem, and I'll be able to get some levels on it without killing it. That's the idea anyway. Now, we do have another encounter, but before I do that, let's go into here and check the trade. Leafeon for Lapras. That's actually a really, really good trade. It's just a shame that I don't have a Leafeon. But that's a really good trade. I'm going to have to remember that, because Lapras is definitely miles better than Leafeon. Now, there are a couple more encounters we can do. I am still holding on to that fossil. What I'm going to do... Hang on, can you toss fossils? I'm not sure. Or are they key items? No, I can trash it if I want. Right, well, in order to ensure that I don't make money off of it, when I use the token... Well, that I don't get some of my money back anyway. When I use the token, I'm just going to toss the fossil. And then we'll know that my token is used. But for the time being, I'm just going to pick up a couple items in here, because I know there are a couple hidden items up here. I think behind that Rock Smash Rock is a hidden item. I could swear there were a couple more that we could get to at this point, though. Maybe not. Oh well, we got a cleanse tag, so that's something. Alrighty, let's just continue straight on into our next encounter, and then there's the Bellsprout Tower encounter, and then we're done. Now, what I'm probably... Oh, Miltank. You know, Miltank can be pretty good, actually. I'm not going to complain about that. Now, for my encounter that I'm going to use with the token, I'm not going to do that one in this episode. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to do some training off-screen for my Charmander, obviously, and probably for a couple other members of the team as well, to get them up to a half-decent level. And oh my god, my attacks are doing nothing after these growls, holy shit. But once I've done that training, I'll have a better idea of what's in each of the routes, and then I can choose which route I want to use my token in. Now, that does mean that I'm going to know what kind of mons I could potentially get, but I have no way of controlling which one of them I get. So I could use my token in a route with, say, a Groudon as a wild encounter, but it might also have Magikarp, and if my token turns out to roll a Magikarp, well, congrats, I'm not going to get a Groudon. So I think that's a good way of doing it. I just want to make sure that there is something in the route that I might potentially want before I spend my token. It's not a guarantee that I'm going to get it, but it might help. You know, I would complain that it critted me, but it also got paralyzed, so it works. I'm going to switch out real quick, though. Mainly because Snowy's had its attack lowered so much that there's almost no way it's going to be able to weaken this thing down within the next 15 years or so. So we'll use Fluffy instead. Although, to be fair, Fluffy is barely doing any more damage, and is now also being hit by growls, which is going to make this really, really annoying. I mean, come on, this thing is designed to piss me off, right? It's lowering my attack, so my growls do less damage, so my tackles do less damage. But it's also raising its own defense, so my tackles do less damage. This Miltank right now, okay, this Miltank is mocking me. I am being mocked by a Pokemon cow. I don't appreciate this. I don't appreciate this. This right here is just completely inexcusable. Why aren't you in red health yet? You're taking so long. Oh man. I'm trying not to be too loud while I record these. I know a lot of people, when they do Let's Plays, they are loud and they're sort of very out there. It's not really the way I like to do things, but you know, I like to try and be a little bit more quiet, but that's just a personal preference. Okay, red health. And thank God you used Defense Curl, because I was terrified you were going to crit me and kill me there. Right, let's switch back into Snowy, because he can tank hits a lot better than Fluffy can. It's a shame you don't get experience of catching mons in this game like you do in the new ones, actually. That's a really good change they made for the newer games, to be honest. Although I know it's not really just for the newer games, I'm pretty sure they introduced that in X and Y, and X and Y are pretty old at this point. Oh, come on, you're paralysed and in red health. What more can I do for you? This is going to be a pain in the neck, I can already tell. Right, let's try this again. 1, 2, 3. Wonderful. Less of a pain in the neck than I anticipated, but I will take it. Am I going to use Miltank? Maybe. I might actually use Miltank. I know exactly what I'm going to call it, because I am what you might call extremely creative and original in all nicknames, okay? And all of them are so original and creative. I called it Betsy. I called the cow Pokemon Betsy. Aren't I original? And it has an X attack. Okay, we'll take that. Magic God. That's a really good ability. That's a really good ability. And the nature doesn't mess with physical attack. Oh, I might have to use Betsy. That could be really, really nice. Okay, I'm not going to put, I'm not putting F- on the layout, by the way, because, let's be real, F- is never getting used. I'm only going to put Pokemon on the layout if I actually intend to use them on my team. If they're just sort of hanging around as death fodder, which is basically what F- is doing, then I'm not going to worry about it. Now, there are some eggs there, the Primo Guy eggs. I kind of want to hatch those, but 3 additional encounters is a little bit broken. I might do, though. I'm probably not going to hatch them in this episode. If I do hatch them, I will do it, I will do it in another episode, and we'll see how I feel about it then, because right now I haven't decided. The trouble is, he does tell you what the eggs are. So, I think, you know, they're not particularly... They are randomized, obviously, but he will tell me what they are before I hatch them. I'm not sure exactly how I feel about it. Maybe I'll treat it like another starter Pokemon and just, like, get all 3 of the eggs and choose one of them that I want to hatch. I feel like that's actually a really fair way of doing it, now that I think about it. Shieldon. I'm probably not going to use this either, because as I recall, it's basically purely defensive and has no offensive capabilities. And of course it has Protect, which is a right old pain in the arse. So this is probably going to be another one of those mons that gets caught purely to be used as death fodder. Oh my god, it's going to take a while as well. Oh god, and it's using Protect. Okay, this is going to take a hot minute. So this is going to be another one of those instances, I think, where I have to lower the in-game volume because we're going to be speeding up this fight. Because honestly, you can see why this is annoying, right? It's using Protect all the time. My attacks are barely doing any damage. This thing is just designed to be a pain in the arse. Stop using Protect. Okay, there we go. We got it down into red health. And that probably saved us all about 3 minutes of sitting here watching it use Protect and watching me do a teeny amount of damage every other turn when its Protect actually fails. Oh, that was irritating. But it's paralysed because of Static, which is actually turning out to be really useful ability. And it's in red health, so if I can catch it, please. Although, as I understand it, the fossil mons also have a pretty bad catch rate, so I might not be able to get this, we don't know. Although I did get Charmander surprisingly easily. Certainly easier than this piece of crap anyway. I don't want to throw all my Pokeballs because I need to keep some for my encounter token. So I'm not going to throw all of them. I think I'll probably throw... I think I have 11 left. So I think I'll go for... maybe just this one, actually. We'll see. I might go for a couple more, but honestly... it's a Shieldon. I'm not that hyped about it. I mean, it could be alright, but... no, sod it, I threw another one. It could be okay, but at the end of the day, like I said, it is just a Shieldon. Actually, no, you know what? You know what? I think I've decided. I am going to throw as many Pokeballs as it takes, or until I run out. And the reason I'm going to do that is because for my next encounter, right, that's going to be with the encounter token. And I honestly thought I had it there, to be honest. The next encounter I do is going to be with the encounter token. So I don't, you know, I can go into a route and just choose not to use it until I have more Pokeballs. So I don't actually have to worry about not having any right now. I can go through the rest of Bellsprout Tower, fight all the trainers, get some more items, sell them for some money, and buy Pokeballs to be ready for that later. So I can still try and catch this annoying little Shieldon. Which, to be honest, I barely even want, because it is almost a purely defensive mon. The only way Shieldon would be worth having is if it evolves into Bastiodon and it turns out to have huge power. I would get it then. I would love to have it then. But I have no way of knowing what ability Bastiodon has, because this is not a Bastiodon. It's a Shieldon. And apparently it's a Shieldon that's impossible to catch. Come on, I caught a Charmander easier than you. What the hell? You know what? Silence is golden. You just got to stay quiet and the Pokemon will go in the ball. That's going to be our weird strategy for this series, of course. You ever remember doing that when you were a kid and you would have like your weird strategies where you'd like mash A plus B or something? And, you know, I'm going to call you annoying because you've been a real pain in the ass to me, Shieldon. Okay, that took too long to catch you. And you use Protect a lot, so you are annoying. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm not sure if you ever did that, but I know a lot of us did. Where when you were younger, you used to have all these stupid ways of like thinking that it gave you a better chance to catch Pokemon. We all did that. That is a terrible ability for a Rock Steel type. Oh my word, that sucks so much. That is just all levels of bad. I don't think Storm Drain negates the damage. I mean, the nature's kind of useful. It buffs up the physical attack a little bit. Not that its physical attack is ever going to be good. But honestly, I'm probably not going to use Shieldon. It's not going on the layout at the moment, I can tell you that for free. It might eventually go on there if I actually choose to use it. But for the time being, Shieldon is sitting around as death fodder because I don't want it. I really, really don't want it. In fact, I have decided as well. I have decided what I'm going to do with the Primo Eggs. I'm going to find all 3 of them, and then I'm going to choose which one I want. And I'm only going to take one of them because 3 extra encounters is a lot this early in the game. And quite frankly, I don't want to feel really, really cheap by taking all of them. So I'm going to treat it like a starter Pokemon, which I think is a fair way of doing it. So let me just box a couple of these, well, a few Pokemon really, so I have enough space to figure out which egg is which when they get into the party. Now, I also need my trainer ID. Oh god, guys, everybody turn your eyes away. You're going to see my ID. Oh no. Right, hang on. Primo eggs. That should if I just type in Primo eggs, that should probably take me to the here you go, to the secret code generator. Right, that will save me a bit of time. Of course, it is on the German Pokemon wiki, I think this is, so whatever. Thanks, Germany. Right, HeartGold, Soulsilver, game language. You can tell it's the German one because German is right at the top of the game language list. Right, game language English, ID number 568. Sorry, this isn't particularly entertaining to watch this part, I know. 56879. Calculate. Okie dokie, those ones are the backgrounds for those, we don't need that. Okay, here we are, I found the codes for my eggs. Oh, my mouse is on the screen, I didn't actually realise that. Let's take that off real quick. Alright then, Primo. I would love to tell you what I think of you. Not that it makes much sense when I do these, because it's always weird. Right, I want to go into the ABC mode, though. I don't want to do this in group mode. Seriously, how do I actually change that across? I actually have no idea how I do that. Is it start or something? Oh yeah, it is. Oh no, select. I always forget that it's the other way around right now. Right, now the first egg code is fights. This is what I meant by, like, you know, telling you how you think about him. It makes absolutely no sense. Okay, so it's fights invincible. I mean, I suppose you could, you know, twist the wording to say that I think he's invincible in fights, but honestly, he doesn't really look that invincible to me. Right, yes, you're so exciting and fun, I'm sure you are. You know, you're so exciting and fun that really the only thing I can think of when I think of how exciting and fun you are when I'm watching you on the televisions, the only thing that really comes to my mind is Hypercutter, Honeygather. That's just what comes to my mind, because you're so exciting and fun. Right, let's find out what the first egg is. Yeah, you can swing a deal and give me an egg. We're a little bit over an hour now, but we are ending the series. We are ending this episode after I've got these eggs. Snover egg, okay, that's the first one. I'm not particularly excited about a Snover egg because I already have an ice type, and Abomasnow has a quad weakness to fire that really, really would freak me out. Alright, this time the code is home and then electric. My phone has, for some reason, like, it's a relatively new phone. It's a replacement for the one I got very, very, very badly damaged. So at the moment, I'm what's it called? I'm using the new phone, but I haven't changed it to make it so that the screen doesn't hibernate, you know, within like a minute of me not clicking it. So right now, while I'm typing these in between me typing in every one of them, the bloody screen keeps on hibernating. So I have to keep on putting in my passcode before I can actually, you know, finish off the code and get the egg. Anyway, this time it is Quick Feet Challenge, which makes perfect sense, right? I mean, that's just a reasonable thing to say. You're very exciting and fun. Quick Feet Challenge. Now, give me an egg. Nidoran Male. Okay, so we got Snover as the first one, then we got Nidoran Male. This is not going so well for us so far, to be honest. We could definitely get a better egg than these two. And the last one starts off with Service, which is where? Here we go. And Shell Armor. I have to make sure I click my phone before it goddamn hibernates again. There it is, Shell Armor. Service, Shell Armor. That's what I think about you, Mr. Primo. I know, you probably did never think of it that way before, because it doesn't make any sense. Alright, Solid Rock Courage. That's the last one I want. Solid Rock. And then courage. C-O-U... Oh, I have some cold pizza downstairs. I forgot about that. Oh, that's definitely going to be my breakfast. Okie dokie. So we've done the last egg code now. I can finally let my phone hibernate. Marsh Tomp. That's definitely the one we're taking. Right, so the Marsh Tomp egg is the third one. So what we're going to do, because I can't use the other 2 eggs, but you're not allowed to release eggs, what I'm going to do is the other 2 eggs, I'm taking them and putting them in box 17. Because box 18 is going to be my dead box, and box 17, I'm never going to catch enough mons to fill up all the way to box 17. So we're getting the eggs put in box 17, we're going to forget they even exist. And I'm going to withdraw my mill tank, because obviously mill tank is on the team, and F- as a bit of quick death fodder. I'm not going to worry about annoying. I'm going to leave him in the box for the time being because, among other things, I have an egg to hatch. So, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to train up the egg. I'm not going to hatch the egg and train it up off screen. But what I am going to do is I'm probably going to get all my team up some levels, other than F-, because, you know, she's death fodder. But my actual combat team are probably going to be taken up to maybe level 10, maybe level 12. I haven't yet decided. Probably leaning closer to level 10, to be honest. But I'm going to do that in between episodes, and I'll see you in the next episode of the HeartGold Soulsilver Randomizer Nuzlocke. And hopefully none of my footage corrupts in the series so I can actually use it, because that would be lovely. See you next time.